Hello. My overthinking almost led me to like not making this video or making any video again, but I am here. So, hi YouTube, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've already seen my videos or one of my subscribers. I do apologize for the absence. I have been gone from YouTube probably for a month now. I think a month was my last video. Can I adjust this? There we go. I think like a month was my last video that I did. But here I am, and I filmed like videos between that, but that's beyond the point. Of course you may have read the subject, the title of this video, and it's about mental health. I actually just had something really scary happen that sent my anxiety through the roof. Someone showed up at my door. It's a whole story, but I was just like, what the F? Anyways, so this is gonna be about my journey with mental health. I feel like this camera is like, it's like really bothering me. Maybe I'm just overthinking as usual. It's fine. Anyways, okay. So, I recently had some new developments in my life when it comes to mental health. I recently was prescribed Concerta, and it's been real. I have never been prescribed ADHD medicine, but I've always known I've had ADHD. It is like really hindered parts of my life for sure because I have ADHD and anxiety. That rhymes, ADHD and anxiety. So yeah, it's been a moment, but through my decades, I've learned to manage it. But something is bothering me about this camera. Let me fix it. One moment, sorry. Okay, and I'm back. Okay, so yeah. So I'm making this video so that other people who may be experiencing the same thing with Concerta or with ADHD and anxiety can possibly relate. I've watched videos prior to taking the medication, and some of them, I did not have the same results, and it really confuses me. And it made me go into this whole thinking of like, do I not have ADHD? But I clearly do. I've seen psychiatrists in the past when I lived in New York. Depending on your insurance in New York, seeing a psychiatrist seems like it would be like really easy to do. But unfortunately for me, it was not. I think it's because most of them don't accept insurance or something. Maybe it's changed now, but when I tried going to a psychiatrist when I lived in New York City, it was really a struggle. Some of them, you cannot get an appointment for 3 months. You just like, it's insane. The ones that do take insurance, like you cannot get an appointment for like 3 months. And then maybe it's changed now, but a lot of them are private, private doctors? I was about to say private investigators. Y'all know me. But no, like private practices. So it's a bit difficult, but we're not here to talk about the medical industry because I could really go in. Because the psychiatrist that I did see in New York seemed to be afraid of prescribing me like a controlled substance. I felt like it was because of some systemic issues that we experience in this country and many others, but it could be beyond me. And the only reason I say that is because not a lot, but many of my friends were easily prescribed like medicine that were controlled substances. And for some reason for me, it was always really difficult. I've never understood it. Like I've even had a friend previously who somehow had so much Adderall and she did not sell it. She was prescribed it and she would just give it to me like once or twice because like I don't take drugs like that. Like recreationally, I don't take drugs. And I always have a fear of getting addicted to something. So when she gave it to me, I was like, I'm not taking this right now to go to a party. I am taking this at work tomorrow because I need to focus. It's always been such a difficult thing for me to focus. I feel like it really started though, like in my adolescence, like maybe when I was in like early middle school, I had such a difficult time focusing. I used to be like an A+ to B student, and my grades dropped significantly. It was horrible. And I was in this mind thought, and I'm not gonna be brought to tears, but I was in this mind thought because I also was dealing with like depression and still do. But it just made me feel not like I just wasn't able. It like really can mess with your confidence. It surely did mess with my confidence along with other factors in my life. And I grew up with parents who they're Black and they're Southern and they're Christian. And so unfortunately there has always been a stigma in the Black community when it comes to mental health and going to doctors for it, going to a shrink, you know? I mean, a lot of cultures do have stigmas concerning that, but I feel like in America, at least, I feel like Black people especially have this fear of it. And I told my parents at such a young age, I really need to see a therapist or a psychiatrist. I do not know how I thought about that, but like I was depressed, I could not focus, and I was scared of so many things that other people were not scared of. I never learned how to drive due to my anxiety. As soon as I got behind the steering wheel for them to teach me, I was afraid. And I was like, I'm not doing this. I just can't. And then I just thought I was scared. You know how they call people like a scaredy cat? Oh, you're too scared. Or they'll be like, oh, you're not man enough. My family didn't say that. But like, you know, other people like say it, etc. Yeah, it was a journey. Anyways, so fast forward to adulthood, seeing psychiatrists and doctors in New York City, the few that I went to was so annoying. Because you would go there hoping that, oh, I'm going to talk to someone who's going to really relate to me, or at least hear me, even if they can't relate to me. No, I feel like the ones I went to must have been just looking for a check. And I'm not going to say that all psychiatrists and therapists are like that, but those experiences were awful. And fast forward to me moving to Florida. Yeah, because I live in Jacksonville, Florida now. And my primary care physician, so sweet, so nice. I had one primary care physician in New York City who was equally as amazing. You know, the type of doctor that you can visit where you can tell that they really actually care about your health and not just there to be like, oh, you're fat, you need to lose weight, so that's it. Because just like, it's like there are some doctors out there, and again, this video is not about the medical industry or whatever in America. It should be. Maybe I'll do another one about that, because I've had such weird instances that like people will just see you and be like, oh, well, you're plus size, you need to lose weight, and that's the reason for all of your ailments. No, every physical body is different. No matter your weight, no matter your height, no matter your complexion, like every body is physically different on the inside. And it just really is disheartening to go to a doctor's office and you also have to pay, even if it's just a co-pay. Like, you go there with such high hopes that someone's going to listen to you, and to be just basically shut down and leave there feeling like shit, basically. Excuse my French or wording or whatever. And so, like, it just felt really good to find a doctor here in Florida who listened to me. I had just one previously in New York. That was what I was about to say. Who was very helpful, but then she moved her practices to New Jersey and was not working with the same insurance that I had, et cetera, so I couldn't see her anymore. So it felt so refreshing to be back here and to see a doctor who listened to me. This primary care physician listened to me. She 100% wanted me to see a psychiatrist. And she referred me to a clinic that accepts my insurance. And I scheduled an appointment. I was able to schedule an appointment within that month or so, which was really refreshing also. And because they have multiple psychiatrists and therapists and like, what do they call it? It's some type of nurse that also can practice it. Yeah, I went. and there was a crying baby in the lobby, and I have nothing against babies, but that's my anxiety through the roof. But the thing about my anxiety is that I've learned how to manage it in certain situations. I feel like once you get to a certain age and you aren't prescribed anything, you kind of have no choice. So like, you know, I navigated that situation, and then I was like, okay, when is my appointment starting? When is my appointment starting? And then I had a friendly face come to the door and ask for me. And I was just like, oh, hi. So she was young. Well, she is young. And she was just so full of life. And I was just like, oh. Because, like, you know, sometimes when you are at the doctor's office, you're afraid that it might be someone who's very, like, stoic and, like, stern. And, like, she was so nice. And that's what someone needs to see when they go to a doctor's office. She listened to me so well, and I was so grateful for her presence. Within the 4 minutes of me talking, without me saying any diagnosis or anything, she asked me if I had ever been diagnosed with ADHD. And I felt so seen, and it was so refreshing, and it felt great to know that, like, okay, so it's not just me and maybe a few friends thinking, oh my God, you are so ADD or you have ADHD, you know what I mean? Because I've felt and I've said it for like years. And just like, I told her, when she said that, I told her I felt so seen, just feels so refreshing. And I basically went in to how those struggles, well, how I noticed when those struggles started. And it's really been a struggle with anxiety and ADHD my entire life. You know, I moved to New York City, and that can be... Okay, this day has been such a pickle. I don't know why my camera kept stopping, but hopefully we can get through the rest of this. But anyways, I moved to New York City. And in my 20s, I feel like that was a good time to move to New York City because it was one of my dreams of all time. You know, being in New York City and moving to a place like that can be extremely overwhelming, but I feel like I handled it pretty well. But as you get older, I wonder if things get worse or something, because my anxiety as I got older living in New York City was going like through the roof. And I don't know if it was experiences or what. I was prescribed Xanax or alprazolam, and that helped, but I always had a fear of getting addicted to things, like I mentioned. So I used to only take those in case of an emergency, but I always felt like I needed to see a psychiatrist, and so did my PCP, primary care physician in New York City at the time. But every one that I was referred to was awful, as I've mentioned. So it was really refreshing to see someone here who was just so inviting and open and could see me. And as I'm telling them my story, they diagnosed me with ADHD instead of it just being a mystery my entire life of why I haven't been able to do certain things. Yes, so I was basically diagnosed with ADHD. I had already been previously diagnosed with anxiety. And yeah, so I also have high blood pressure, runs in the family, child. And so that was also somewhat of a hindrance because a lot of ADHD medications can fluctuate your blood pressure and raise it. And me having the blood pressure that I do have, she definitely started me on something lower. Originally, she wanted to put me on Vyvanse. And Vyvanse, once I went to my pharmacy, even with my insurance, was so expensive. I feel like it was like $90 for a 30-day, like, amount of the, like, starting point for an adult. And I was just like, okay, that's a lot of money. Just like to be trying out medication and I'm not even sure how I'm going to react to a lot of money. So then I contacted her and she prescribed me Concerta. So then I went to the pharmacy, and luckily, because Concerta has like a discount on their website that you can combine with your insurance. Very helpful tip, definitely. Any designer drug, I guess, definitely check their website to see if they offer any type of like discount or whatever. So they luckily offered a discount, and the price of Concerta with my insurance was like 60, 75 maybe. And then in combination with that discount on Concerta's website, it went down to $4. And I was like, that's what I need for this trying of a medication. So the following day, I tried the Concerta, and it was like the second lowest milligram. I could feel it. And initially it was kind of like a little jitter feeling, like almost when you have coffee. But I was able to focus on my work so well. Luckily, I work from home, and I was just so able to focus on my work. I noticed myself finishing tasks quicker. I noticed myself being more confident, which is something I've always struggled with, and really, like, it makes me cry sometimes because I just feel like I could have been so much further in life, which is what I've told her also. And I feel like my ADHD and confidence and other factors have kind of like hindered me from that. Mostly my ADHD, confidence, and anxiety has hindered me from that. So to see the results so quickly was astounding. I was able to hold conversations so much longer, because a lot of times when I have conversations, especially with like my mom, my head just like drifts off. But that night on the telephone with her, I noticed that I had like a 40-minute conversation with my mom. My conversations with family members are like 5-10 minutes max. So it was just like shocking. It was just like, what? I was just like going on, and yeah. And she was like, oh, I was wondering when you was gonna stop talking. So I don't know if I just got chatty or what, but it was so weird. And so yeah, I noticed that for like the first like 2-3 days, I was extremely focused. I had coffee on one of those days, and that was awful. My blood pressure went through the roof, and I could tell it. I was like really jittery. So that's another thing, is that you cannot combine Concerta with coffee. I would highly not. And having iced coffee in the morning is one of my like treats. It makes me so happy. So that was one shocking revelation. I was like, oh. So just like I stopped that. And yeah, but then as the days prolonged during those 30 days, I noticed by the like second week, I did not feel a change anymore. I did see the change of me being able to complete tasks much quicker, because I do copywriting amongst other things for the company that I work for. And usually, you know, when they send me over a document that has like 60 products, I would be extremely overwhelmed immediately. But I would still get it done because my mind is set to just navigate this terrain of things that I have to do, even if I'm extremely overwhelmed by it, and just not saying anything and just doing it. Because that's like, you know what I mean? So but even though it would take me forever usually, I would still make sure to complete it. But this time, I was just able to just like swoosh through it, like creatively writing, and it was amazing. It was just like, is this how normal people will function? But it just started declining, and I noticed my anxiety started getting worse, and it just made me so annoyed and made me almost feel like this isn't right. So then like I talked to her, and she said that, you know, this is your body getting used to it, etc., etc. And I was like, okay, because she was like, I did, you know, prescribe you a lower milligram for say your age and your size, etc. So next month we're going to increase the milligram if this all works out. So I went to my next visit, and they did my blood pressure. My blood pressure was high. So yeah, so my blood pressure was high, and that was after taking my high blood pressure medicine, which I take every morning. And yeah, so, you know, she saw my blood pressure results, and she was like, your blood pressure is really high. So I'm not sure what we should do in this instance, you know, because if she increased the milligram, it could mess it all up. It's really kind of disheartening, because you feel and think that you're getting someplace, and then you see these roadblocks, and it's just kind of been like a factor of my life. Anyways, so she wanted me to test it out by she also prescribed me for nighttime clonidine to help with my blood pressure and for my sleeping because my anxiety, sleeping wise, oh my god, I can't stop thinking or turn my head off. I overthink like crazy. I cannot just turn myself off. It sucks. And I have been taking like Tylenol PM every single night, which is not good for you. So it's just like, so she prescribed me like a low milligram of clonidine. I absolutely love the clonidine. But then she also prescribed me a milligram for daytime as well to take with the Concerta and my high blood pressure medicine because it will help my high blood pressure hopefully like stabilize. So I started that, but like, and now we're here, which is the second month and which is like me being on the higher milligram. And it just really is kind of really disheartening. And I would love to hear from some other experiences in the comments. My anxiety is still really high. And I know Concerta and clonidine doesn't really help with anxiety, I don't believe. Maybe the clonidine, whatever. I feel like that one might help with anxiety, but I'm not sure because it definitely helps with sleeping. So maybe, but my anxiety is still really up there. Actually, I'm going to New York City this week, which I'm so excited for to see my friends and everything. But like, I am really anxious about it. And I'm just like, I'm sure it's gonna play off well and everything's gonna be okay and fine. But it's just, I think I'm just, like, these emotions aren't new. I almost feel like they're a bit heightened, which is kind of scary. I'm definitely going to take my alprazolam because she said I can take alprazolam with what I'm taking now. But I might, just take half a tablet each day to help with my anxiety. But mental health is a real struggle. If you have any friends or any family members that's dealing with it, don't ever not motivate them to get help. Help is so important. The thing that I'm going through right now is that I've gotten help and I just don't know if the medicine is working, and I get to a place where it's depressing because it's just like, so what is it? Like what, like I think I overthink too much. I clean up behind myself. I hate dusting like many people do, but I definitely clean up behind myself. So it's not that I'm lazy, but I love decorating my apartment and things like that. But it's like I'm not motivated to do like this YouTube channel. Like I loved starting this YouTube channel and I thought it was gonna like be super successful, etc. And I don't want to be sad about anything because like, it's fine if something doesn't work out. And I'm so grateful for my subscribers. But then I like get really peeved off by like the algorithm. I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, in my last video, I was like, you tend to think like, is any of this worth it? And just like, I really enjoy having my peace because it's so hard for me to have peace in my own head. It's just like, even if someone knocks on my door, it's like, and like, I just had this weird experience where someone random came to my door, scared the shit out of me. I'm just like, what? And I was just like, is my anxiety now heightened because of the stimulant, which is ADHD medicine? So yeah, it's a struggle, y'all. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting any other factors about it. Like, I'm sweating more and I'm always a hot-bodied person. I recently finally became social in Jacksonville, which I'm very happy about. My friend Omar picked me up and we went to an event at the Cummer Museum and it was so fun. I took ashwagandha to hopefully, just a supplement of it, to hopefully help me with my anxiety in a social environment. I took that. I noticed I was sweating a lot, but it's also really hot in Florida. So it's just like, I felt fine. I felt really good, actually. It felt good to finally get out the house and stuff and be with people who are like-minded and fun. Because I haven't in a year and a half since I moved here pretty much, which is mind-blowing. So yeah, it was great, but I guess we'll see how it is in New York. I definitely want to continue this channel, and I'm so grateful for everyone that's watching this video. I will update this soon. I don't know. Like, I almost feel like maybe I should stop using Concerta, because I was telling my friend, I feel like once you get so far, like, I thought it was gonna, you get these expectations of like, okay, this is gonna catapult me into like being a super successful human being, because I've had dreams and desires my entire life, and I felt like things like my anxiety and my inability to focus has hindered me from those goals. I mean, of course, there's other factors like with society and like finances and everything that can also hinder these situations. So I'm not just saying it's my ADHD and my anxiety, but I feel like those played a big factor in it, because it also hindered my confidence amongst other things. So it's just like, it's like I've gotten this far, like I've lived decades. I'm not gonna say how many decades, but I've lived decades. And now I'm thinking, like, was I actually doing better before I started taking the medication? Because I was less anxious also, you know what I mean? It's just hard to navigate. It's like really hard to like figure it out. And it's like, this is something that I guess I would talk to with my psychiatrist, to hopefully see what I could do. She said that she would prescribe me Adderall, but unfortunately, is it Adderall? Yeah, Adderall. But unfortunately, there is such a shortage of Adderall in the United States right now that it would be really hard for me to get the prescription. So I guess I'm on Concerta. I haven't tried Vyvanse because it's extremely expensive. I don't know if anyone has any, I don't know, discount suggestions down in the comments for Vyvanse. Let me know, but let me know your experience also. I cannot be alone, but some of the videos that I watched on YouTube, I felt like I felt like I was kind of alone with the situation. I'm like, maybe I was misdiagnosed, maybe there's something else that is driving my feelings, because previously, I did forget this, previously I was, you know, well, I have been diagnosed with depression, but I was prescribed like a sertraline, which is a serotonin booster, and that felt really great. I did notice that my foot wouldn't stop shaking, shit like that, but it was like a great experience, but there was some weird side effects, like the foot and like other things that I won't mention, and that sucked. So it was just like, you know, my doctor also felt like, you know, maybe my depression is stemming from the ADHD, etc. And like Concerta would help, or Vyvanse. And I don't know, I'm feeling, because the anxiety makes me depressed too. And just like this not working out, it's a whole lot, y'all. But as I've always said, I'm gonna keep trucking. That is one of my mottos. And I suggest to all of you out there to keep trucking as well. If you're dealing with some mental health issues, as I am, or some like pharmaceutical issues, anything like that, just try to keep trucking, because the sun will hopefully come out the following day. And speaking of sun, there is a thunderstorm about to happen outside my window in Florida. And I'm kind of looking forward to it, because I kind of love a thunderstorm outside my window. But yeah, it's been a trying time. I'm excited to see my friends in New York. I'm looking forward to that this week. So I'm trying to keep my mind on that. I am anxious about DJing the wedding and like certain events I'm gonna be going to and things, but I know it's all gonna work out, and you just have to keep the faith. There goes my Southern Christian background coming in, which is totally fine. But yeah, you just have to keep the positivity, the confidence. We'll try to keep the confidence. Gotta keep the positivity, positive thinking, positive reinforcement, all of that, to keep trucking. And child. But I would say, if you are prescribed the medication, don't expect it to, like, it'll happen, like you'll notice a change immediately, but you'll also notice like a weird decline possibly. But I think it's your body adjusting to it. And that's what I'm also telling myself, is my body adjusting to it. Because, yeah, so let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for me and my journey, I am all ears. I am all about it. So I will see you guys in the next video. And hopefully the next video will not be a month from now. I filmed a shoe unboxing that I did not upload. I should upload that. And this video is probably going to be unedited. Well, probably because this video kept chopping up, but I'll do something. Anyways, thank you for watching my video, and I hope I didn't miss on any facts, but if you have any questions, please put them down in the comment, and like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Again, I hope you keep trucking, and see you in the next one. Bye.